Good morning, students. Welcome back to online learning class. Hope you all are good, fit, and fine. Today, we are going to start new lesson 5.2 How the United Nations Work. Let's start. We know that the United Nations is an organization of 192 countries of the world. Its chief objective is to keep peace and to help people all over the world. In order to achieve its various objectives, it has divided itself into 6 working groups called its organs. The most important of these are the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Secretariat. Now, see, the United Nations is an intergovernmental organization that aims to maintain international peace and security, develop friendly relations among nations, achieve international cooperation, and be a center for harmonizing the actions of nations. It is the largest, most familiar, most internationally represented, and most powerful intergovernmental organization in the world. The United Nations is headquartered on international territory in New York, with its other main office and in Geneva, Nairobi. The United Nations was established after World War II with the aim of preventing future wars succeeding the ineffective League of Nations. On 25th April 1945, 50 governments met in San Francisco for a conference and started drafting the United Nations Charter, which was adopted on 25th June 1945 and took effect on 24th October 1945. When the United Nations began operations pursuant to the Charter, the organization's objectives include maintaining international peace and security, protecting human rights, delivering humanitarian aid, protecting sustainable development, and upholding international law. At its founding, the United Nations had 51 member states. With the addition of South Sudan in 2011, membership is now 193, representing almost all of the world's sovereign states. The organization's mission to preserve world peace was complicated in its early decades by the Cold War between the United States and Soviet Union and their respective allies. Its mission have consisted primarily of unarmed military observers and lightly armed troops with primarily monitoring, reporting, and confidence building roles. United Nations membership grew significantly following widespread decoordination colonization beginning in the 1960s. Since then, 80 former colonies have gained independence, including 11 trust territories that had been monitored by the Trusteeship Council. By the 1970s, the United Nations budget for economic and social development program far outstrips its spending on peacekeeping after the end of the Cold War. The United Nations shifted and expanded its field operations, undertaking a wide variety of complex tasks. The United Nations has six principal organs: the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the United Nations Secretariat. The United Nations system includes a multitude of specialized agencies such as the World Bank Group, the World Health Organizations, the World Food Programme, UNESCO and UNICEF. Additionally, non-governmental organizations may be granted consultative status with Economic and Social Council and other agencies to participate in the United Nations work. The United Nations Chief Administrative Officer is the Secretary General, currently Portuguese politician and diplomat Antonio Guterres, who began his 5-year term on 1st January 2017. The organization is financed by assist and voluntary contributions from its member states. The United Nations, its officers and its agencies have won many Nobel Peace Prizes, though other evaluations of its effectiveness have been mixed. Some commentators believe the organization to be an important force for peace and human development, while others have called it ineffective, based or corrupt. That's all for today. Thank you, students.